is like this, that Sanamohito, bewildered, puzzled by Maya. We are the eternal Sanamohita part and parcel bewildered, puzzled, but on account of being Maya, enchanted by this material, eternal energy, Sanamohita part and parcel bewildered. We have forgotten puzzled, but on account of being we are now enchanted by this material, eternal, our goal of life. Nati vidu sartha gating hi Vishnu dura sayaji vahirartha manina. The conditioned soul means the living being, the spirit soul, who is conditioned by these laws of material nature. The laws of material nature is that you have to accept a certain type of body according to your propensity. We create propensity, and Krishna is so kind that he gives you the facility. All right. Just like the tiger, he wants to suck blood, or any man, if he wants to suck blood, then he will be given the facility of a tiger's body. If a person has no discrimination in eating, whatever available he can eat, then he will be given facility of becoming a pig. Up to stool he can eat. So, this is stated very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani jantrarurani maya. This is very significant. Jantrarurani maya. We are riding on a machine. This body is a machine. But we are accepting machine as myself. This is called Sanamohito, bewildered. If you are running on a car, if you think I am the car, as it is foolishness, similarly, I have got this jantra, machine, body, and it is running on account of my presence, or I am driving, or Krishna is giving me intelligence how to drive. But if I identify myself with this body, exactly like a policeman, he is driving the car, and if he identifies himself with the car, he is a policeman. So this is called Sanmohita. Jaya Sanmohita Jiva. Therefore, the example as I was citing last night, that we do not see the driver, and when the driver goes away, then we see that the car is not moving. And then I can understand, oh, the driver, my father or my son has gone away. We sometimes cry, my father has gone away or my son has gone away. But because we are Sanamohita, we actually never saw the father and the son. We accepted this coat pant body as father and son. This is called Sanmohan. Bewildered. Yada Sanmahita Jiva. Atmanam, the spirit soul, Atmanam, Trigunatmakam. This body is Trigunatmakam. The body is made according to the modes of material nature. Karanam gunasangayasya. Everything is very clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. This is further development. The Bhagavad Gita, if you understand Bhagavad Gita, and if you actually surrender to Krishna, the last word of Krishna is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam. If you actually understand Bhagavad Gita, this will be the result. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tvaktva sadharmam charanambujam hare. Sadharma, Krishna says, sarva dharman parityajya. So that means every one of us, dharma means occupational duty. That is dharma. Characteristic. So, Krishna orders sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. If we accept it, even by sentiment, that is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tattva sadharmam charanambujam hare patet tatu jadi bhajanna pakkota. Narada Muni says that if somebody, even by sentiment, all right, Krishna says, sarvadharman parityajya, let us stop any other business, become Krishna conscious. Even one accepts by sentiment, not thoroughly understand. He is also fortunate. He is also fortunate because he accepts the real thing. Therefore Narada Muni said that even one accepting by sentiment and later on bhajanna pakkota, his execution of devotional service not mature and he falls down, then Narada Muni accepted jatra kuba abhatra bhuta muske. Where is the loss for that person? On the other hand, the other person who has not accepted this is very regularly executing his material responsibility. What does he gain by that? This is the if Krishna consciousness is accepted even by sentiment, and after that, even if he falls down, there is no loss. And if we are very faithful to our material duties, then Narada Muni says, what do you gain by that? So this is a very important thing. We do not gain anything. We gain only another body. Again begin chapter, the same struggle for existence. And that also, there is no guarantee. According to our karma, we shall have to accept a body. Karanam gunasangasya. As we associate, just like we develop a certain type of disease, as we contaminate the jar. If you contaminate the bearers of smallpox, then you have to suffer from smallpox. Nature's law is so strict. You cannot avoid it. If you have been attacked by the mosquito carrying malaria germ, then you have to suffer from malaria. The karanam gunasangas, as we take precaution that I may not be attacked with malaria or smallpox or this or that, so many we take precaution. Similarly, we have to be very precautious for our next body. If we become precautious, then there is chance of being promoted. Urdham gacchanti sattasva. If you keep yourself in the satagam, the Brahminical qualification, sama, dhamma, titikya, arjava, sattam, saucham, jnanam, vijnanam, astikam, brahma karma, sabhava. Similarly, there are Kshatriya qualities, there are Vaishya qualities, There are Shudra qualities and there are Shudradham quality, less than the Shudra quality. So, in any quality, in any position, even by sentiment, tattva sadharmam, charanam bhujambhari, if you take to Krishna consciousness, that is the greatest property. From any position, it doesn't matter whether in which position he is, either he is on the Brahmin position or Kshatriya position or Vaishya position or Shudra position or Chandal position. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Man hi partha vyapasritya jepishu papajoni. Papajoni, lower class, very, very lower class. Papajoni, their description in the Shastra. Kiratahu nanda pulinda pukkasa abhira sambha javana kasadaya. So this Papajani, these black, they are also considered Papajani. But for everyone, Krishna consciousness is open. Kirata Nanda Pulinda, Hun, Kirata, Andhra, Pulinda, Pukkasa, Avira, Summa, Javan, Kasadaya, Mongolia. Those who do not develop mostages, Kasada. Then nature Papa. And lower than that, Jadupa, Sraya, if he takes sincerely the center of the lotus feet of Krishna or his devotee, Jadupasrayas, Siddhanti, he becomes purified. There is no, I am to say, bar for anyone. In the Bhagavad Gita, the same thing is confirmed. Man hipartha vyapasritya jepishu papajunaya sriyavasya tatha sudra tepi janti param. So Krishna consciousness is so nice. If we take to it as our goal of life, then our life is successful. Otherwise, jayasana mohita jiva atmanam trigunatmakam. We shall continue the life of changing this body. That we have to do. We cannot be independent. Prakritakriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankaram vimuratma. If we think that we are independent, that is due to our ignorance. We are not independent. Prakritakriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankaram vimuratma. He is simply sanmohita by false prestige. He is not independent at all. We should always remember this. We are dependent on the laws of nature. We cannot say now we have invented some scientific discovery. We shall not going to die. That is not possible. You must die. That is the law of nature. You must die, you must take birth also, and you must be diseased, and you must suffer from old age. These are the 4 disadvantages of material existence. So if we want to get out, this is anartha. That will be explained in the next part. This is Anartha upasamam sakshat bhakti yogam madhukhaji lokasya ajanata vidyan chakre sattata sanghita. This Srimad Bhagavatam is sattata sanghita, is spiritual knowledge. It has nothing to do with anything material. Simply spiritual knowledge. So vidyan means they must learn it, Vyasdev, not ordinary. Srimad Bhagavati Mahamuni Krite is Mahamuni. Muni means thoughtful philosopher, and he is Mahamuni. He is greater than any thoughtful philosopher. Vyasdev, Vedavyas. His name is Vedavyas. Vedavyas means he compiled all these Vedic literature. And at last he summarized the whole Vedic knowledge into Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra, a small aphorism. Janmadasya jata athato brahma jigyasa anandamaya abhyasa. There's a short aphorism, and it has got very deep meaning. That is Vedanta. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is commentary on the Vedanta Sutra by the author himself, under the instruction of his Guru Narada. Therefore we began this, that according to the advice of Narada Muni, that you write about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we began this. Bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranite amale avasyak purusham purnam maya cha jadada. By Bhakti Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti Yoga. But about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga and other yogas, there are descriptions. But at last Krishna advises that the most confidential part of knowledge I am speaking to you, Arjuna, is sarvadharman purityajya mamekam sarva. This is real game. So this is Bhakti Yoga. To surrender unto the Supreme Lord, that is Bhakti Yoga. So here Vasudev began his realization. Bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranite amale. By Bhakti Yoga, you can cleanse your mind without any contamination, immediately. If you want to be liberated from the contamination of material existence or material modes of nature, then immediately you take to Bhakti Yoga. That is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Manchabhya vicharini bhakti yogena jasevate saguna samatitayeta brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You want to realize yourself as Brahma. We are Brahma. There is no doubt about it. But we have no realization because sanmohita, jaya sanmohita, the Maya has captured us. So, immediately if you want to be liberated, mukti means mukti hitya annatha rupam. Mukti hitya annatha rupam sarupena avastiti. This is mukti. Sarup, our sarup is our spiritual life. When we give up other activities, annatha, which is not spiritual, material activities, that is not our actual business. Actual business is spiritual activity. Material activity means this body. To keep this body in comfortable position. And the body is changing. Now, today I am Indian, I am very great Indian leader or very good philanthropist. Now, tomorrow or the next life, I may not be Indian, I may be Chinese, or I may be European. Then my whole business program changes. Again another nationality, another feeling. In this way, and if I become cats and dogs, then another mentality. This is going on. So, I am forgetting that my identification is spiritual, aham brahmasmi, and I am accepting all these unnecessary things. Anartha. Say anartha. If you want to stop this anartha, If you want to keep yourself in your original position of spiritual identity, then you have to take to Bhakti Yoga. This is the conclusion of the Shastra. Anartha upasamam saksha. Directly, not indirectly. Anartha. This anartha. I am not this body, but I have to change this body after 100 years or 10 years or 50 years, according to the size. The dogs and cats, they change 10 years, the cows 20 years, and human being at most 100 years, and the demigods many millions of years. But death is there. You have to change that body. When Hiranyakashipu executed very severe austerity, so Lord Brahma came to him. What do you want? You are executing so severe austerities. What is your desire? Now you want to become immortal. So Brahma said, that is not possible. Nobody is immortal within this material world. I am not immortal. How can I give it the benediction of immortality? That is not possible. So nobody, everyone is under the laws of nature. It may be the duration of time, maybe little more or less, but everyone must die. This is. And if we want to stop this business of material existence, then here is the recommendation. Anartha upasamam, anartha. Why we shall die? This question does not arise. If I am immortal, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, na hannate hannamani sarire, na jayate na mriyate va kadachit, nitta sasatayam na hannate hannamani. This question does not strike us, that if I am immortal, I have no birth, I have no death, na jayate mriyate va kadachit, at any time. Not that sometimes I was dying. No, never. Nitya sasatayam na hannate hannamani sarire. This is the position. Then why have I accepted this birth and death and old age disease? This is my problem. We do not think that. Neither we are educated how to stop it. But there is process. Tattadiham punarjanmanaiti mameti. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you simply try to understand Krishna, janma karnam chame dibbam, jujanati tattva, not Krishna ordinarily, factually, Krishna tattva, janma karnam me dibbam, jujanati tattva, actually. In fact, in truth, then what is the result? Tattadiham punarjanmanaiti. Is this cycle of birth and death, old age is stopped. Tattadiham, we have to give up this body. That is certain. But after giving up this body, no more material body. Then what happens? Is finished? No, it's not finished. Mameti, he comes to me, back to home. And when you go there, then you must possess the same body as Krishna has got. Krishna is Satchidananda Bhikkhu. Just like if you want to enter into the sun planet, the sun planet is made of fiery elements. Everyone there, their body is made of fire. So if you want to enter into the sun planet, then you must also make your body made of fire. Just like this body is made of earth. And similarly, there are different types of bodies, made of air, made of water, made of fire. These 5 elements, material. Khiti, Aap, Tej, Marud, Bam. So, in different planets. So, if you go back to home, back to Godhead, then you have to gain your original spiritual body. There is spiritual body. That we do not know. There is no education. We have got spiritual body. That spiritual body is covered by this material layer, just like your body is covered by shirt and coat. Bhashamsi jinnani jatha vihaya. Everything explained. We are simply giving up. One dress is now old and rotten, we throw it away and accept another dress. Similarly, this body, when it is not workable, it is old enough, the physiological function is not going on nicely, then there is change of body. Arjuna was advised that why you are lamenting for your old grandfather? Better kill him, he will get a new body. He will get a new body. Of course, it was spoken jokingly because grandfather. But the fact is that after the old body, just like we have got several types of body, babyhood to childhood, child to boyhood to youthhood, old body. Then after this Bhashamsi jinnani jathavya, when you give up this body as dress, old and rotten, we get another. This is going on. But this is anartha. Anartha means unnecessarily we are undergoing this change of body. Anartha. If you want to stop it, anartha upasamam sakshat, directly, immediately. What is that? Bhakti yogam. Anartha upasamam sakshat, bhakti yogam adhokhaje. And Krishna also confirmed. This is statement of Vasudev. And Krishna also says, Manchabhya vicharini bhakti yogi na jaseva sagunan samatittaitan brahma bhuviyar. So, bhakti yoga, adhokhaje. This is real purpose of life. This is real purpose of religion. Sabai pumsang paro dharmo. Jato bhakti adhokhaje. The same thing. That is first class religion. It doesn't matter what kind of religion you are following. But if the religious system teaches you how to become a devotee to adhokhaja, adhokhaja means beyond our sense perception, the Supreme Lord, then your life is perfect. Then you will be happy. Sabai punsang paro dharma jato bhakti adhokhaja. Ahoituki apratihata jayatma samprasidati. If you want satisfaction, if you want real life, then you accept this. Jato bhakti adhokhaja. Here the same thing. Anartha upasam. This business, struggle for existence, survival of the fittest, they say. But nobody is fit to survive. Everyone has to die. Nobody, even big scientists or big philosophers, they cannot survive. They talk of millions of years, but personally they live only 50 or 60 years. This is their position. They simply cheat people. Maybe, perhaps millions of years, and you are going to live. For 50 years, we are talking of millions of years. So, this is anartha. So, anartha upasamam sakha. If we want to stop this unwanted business, if you don't want, go on with your business. Bhutta praliyate. Now take this life, this body of human being or Indian, and then American, then cat, then dog, then horse, then tree. So many, 8 million. You go on if you like. But if you are actually intelligent, if you are disgusted that this is not very good business, this is anartha, unwanted business, I have been forced, jaya sanmohita, being bewildered, being illusioned, being misdirected by this material energy. I am trying to be happy here in this material energy. It is not my business. If one comes to this sense, that is stated in the book. Bahunam janmanamanti. After many births. After many births, jnanavam. one who is actually in knowledge, wise, then what does he do? Bhavanam janmanamante jnanavan maga prabhatu. He surrenders to Krishna. The same thing as Krishna says, surrender to me. If we do not do it, we have to do that. But if you want to wait Bhavanam janma, after many, many births, you have to do the same business. No, why not do it now? This is intelligence. After Bhavanam janmanamante, when I actually become wise, why not become wise immediately? Krishna says, Krishna is at canvassing. Why not take it up? And if you take it up, you are successful. Tattva sadanmang charanam bhajam hari. Even by sentiment you take it, you will be successful. It is so nice. So, as they recommend that anartha, this unwanted business of repetition of birth, death, old age, disease, and there is no certainty what kind of body I shall get. So this is our position. If you want to stop it, anartha upasamam, if you stop this business, bhakti yogam madakhaje. So how to execute bhakti yogam? So lokasya janata, the people in general, they do not know it. There must be, for everything there must be education. Lokasya janata vidyan. He compiled this Srimad Bhagavad, Vidyan Chakre Saptata Samhita. For your eternal life, here is the Samhita, Vedic literature. You take it and study it and follow it and be happy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today we're hearing a very, very important lecture on important set of verses. So the sequence begins from 1.7.4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is a section where Sutta Goswami is answering Shaunaka Rishi about how Bhagavatam appeared. So just to understand the context of it, I'm just quoting these 4 verses. So 1.7.4 talks about Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranahite Amale Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayam Chatat Apashrayam. Thus he fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service, that is Vyasadeva, without any tinge of materialism. He saw Apashyat Purusham Purnam. He saw the Supreme Personality Godhead. Mayam Chatan Apa Ashrayam, along with his external energy, but Apa Ashrayam. Ashrayam means was under the full control of the Lord. And the following verse that we are reading today, 1.75, is talking about Maya. So now Vyasadeva is looking at Maya and what he says, Yeha samhito jiva atmana trigunatmakam paropi manute anartham tatkratam chavipatyate. So every living entity, Yeya sammohito jiva, all living entities are bewildered by this Maya. Atmana trigunatmakam. And they're thinking themselves to be product of 3 modes of material nature. Paropi manute anartham anarthaha. And they have accepted unwanted things as to be real. Tatkatam cha vipatyate. And therefore they undergo the cycle of birth, death, old age, disease, or the samsara cycle. So then what did Vyasadeva do after seeing the conditional living entity under the influence of Maya? That's another verse for today's discussion, as Srila Prabhupada is speaking. Anartho pashamam sakshat bhakti yogam dauksaje lokasya janato vitvams chakre satvata samhitam. Therefore, seeing living entity being bewildered, sammohitaha, by Maya and covered over by anartha. As Prabhupada described, what is anartha? To consider this body as self and to undergo the process of birth, death again and again, that's anartha. Anartho pashamam, to mitigate these anarthas, sakshat, bhakti yoga mato sajay. So Srila Vyasadeva gave the direct process. In any medical treatment, there's a direct and indirect process. So you can call it as an allopathy, instant, or what we call as antidote. So Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Manasajaya gave a direct process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality Godhead. Lokasya Agyanato Vidvans. In general, people do not know Chakre Satvata Samitam. Therefore, he compiled this great literature known as Srimad Bhagavatam for the well-being of the people at large. And how do we understand Srimad Bhagavatam? All right, Srimad Bhagavatam has been given to us. So how do we understand that? That's the last verse of the sequence. यस्या वै श्रूयमाणायां कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पादते पुंसः शोकमोहाभयापः. Just by oral reception, Krishna Paramapurushe, when we hear about Lord Krishna, Paramapurushe, we realize He's the Supreme Personality Godhead. The result, Bhaktir Utpadate Pumsa. Pumsa means we, living entities. Utpadate develops what? Bhakti. And the result of development of Bhakti is Shoka Moha Bhaya. He will get free from Shoka, lamentation, Moha, illusion, Bhaya, and fear, Apaha, extinguishes. And then we can live a life, meaningful life. All right, that was just a quick overview. Let's take a look at Srila Prabhupada's lecture. So Prabhupada begins his lecture by quoting Prahlad Maharaj prayers, you can say, words of wisdom. Nate viduswata gatam hi Vishnu. All right, so my first question for the day, who knows this verse? Very famous shloka by Prahlad Maharaj. And he's saying in this, Nathe viduswat gatim hi Vishnu, those people who don't understand their destination as the destination actually is service to the Lord, and they are bewildered, and they take sense enjoyment as the ultimate goal of life. And because of which, or in other words, they can say they're caught up with the materialistic way of life, they cannot understand their goal of life is to return back home, back to Godhead. Nathe viduswat gatim hi Vishnu. They're actually gatim, or they actually swat is going back to Godhead, and being guided by blind people. By blind man guided by another blind man fall into the ditch and remains bound by the motion of matter nature and continue to suffer birth after birth, life after life. Anyone knows this shloka? Okay, it could be a little difficult, but this is one of the very famous shloka by Prahlad Maharaj. Maybe you can repeat along with me or after me. Nate viduswatagatam hi Vishnu. Guys, want to unmute yourself so we can hear your recitation. We all can unmute. So please repeat. Simple. Nate vidhuswarthagatim hi Vishnu.
नाथे विदुस्वार्थगतिं विष्णुम्
Nurashayaye bahirarthamanina.
दुराशयाये मय्यर्थमानिनो
Andha yathandhirupaniyamas.
अन्धायतान्धेर्पनीयमानास्
Tepi shatantriyamurudam nibaddha.
तेऽपि सतन्त्रामुरुदां
Nibaddha. Thank you so much. So, Prabhupada quotes us, and he talks about how a conditioned living entity is bound by the laws of material nature. So, Prabhupada says, all right, because being bewildered, we create different kind of material propensities, but Krishna is so kind that he fulfills all those propensities. Just like the tiger, he wants to suck blood, or any man he wants to suck blood, then he gives him that facility of a tiger's body. If a person has no discrimination, blah, 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 if he wants to eat stool, then Krishna gives him the body of a pig. So then he can eat stool. So my question to all of you is, how does Krishna understands our desires? What was the famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita that Krishna quoted?
हरे कृष्ण
Yes, Tushar Prabhu. Why am I not able to hear all of you? Yeah, go loudly. Yes, go ahead.
18.61 I didn't know full verse ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां
Yeah, that's okay. I need a full verse. These are some very important verses that should have been memorized by now to all of you, particularly those of Bhakti Shastri graduates. It is a basic fundamental shloka from Bhagavad Gita. और मेघा से आपने भक्ति शास्त्री टेस्ट के लिए मेमोराइज भी करा होगा.
प्रभु जी सर्वस्य चाहम यदि सन्निष्टो.
Okay.
No, not that. Not that Prabhuji. This one, he is a Paramatma, no? Just forgetting that verse. He is a Paramatma and he is in our soul. He is there in our
Correct.
body.
So,
Pudrashta
Sarvasya
Hanumanta cha.
Vidishanavishtu is a correct point. But Prabhupada here quotes a particular shloka and then he makes a point through that shloka. So, therefore, that particular shloka is important. What is that shloka that
Ishvara
Prabhupada?
Sarvabhutanam.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
18.66. Sarva.
Yeah, thank you so much for the
Sarvabhutanam.
reference. I need the whole shloka.
ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां
Ishvara
हृदयस्य अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्राम्यन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Okay, I hope you're not taking help of Vedabase or looking at the Google and saying that. Okay, you probably have memorized. Because you all are laughing, I'm having a doubt on you now. ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हिदेशी अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयं सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया. So Prabhupada says, because Krishna resides in the heart as a super soul, thus he knows the desire and fulfills the desires. But here comes the second point where Prabhupada connects. Prabhupada says, see, Krishna says in this verse, yantrarudhani mayaya. We are sitting in a body just like a car. Yantra is a mechanical machine. And then Prabhupada takes the flow from there. Prabhupada explains how we are sammohitaha jiva. You know, as the verse says, we are bewildered by Maya. So we are bewildered by Maya in the form of, we consider this yantrarudhani, which is a mechanical arrangement, this physical body made up of 9 holes, as ourself. And Prabhupada says, imagine you're driving a car and you consider drive car to be yourself. This is called as sammoham, sammohita, bewilderment, like that. So Prabhupada talks about it, sammohitaha. Okay, then Prabhupada again goes back to Bhagavad Gita. Largely this lecture is based on Bhagavad Gita, principles like that. Then Prabhupada says, well, this everything is explained very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. If you understand Bhagavad Gita, and if you actually surrender to Krishna, the last word of Krishna is, what is the last word of Krishna? What verse Prabhupada quoted? Don't mind, I'm asking you for shlokas because you all
Surrender to me.
ears together.
Sarvadharman parityajya
Surrender to me.
mamekam sharanam vraja.
Okay, very good, Mother
Sarva
Chintamani.
papebhya
Perfect.
mokshashyami masucha.
Thank you, Mother Chintamani. So, Mother Chintamani says, right, Sarvadharman pratyaja mamekam sharanam vraja. And then Prabhupada connects that verse with another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. And then the discussion begins on that verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sarvadharma. How, if anyone, Kirat, Unanda, Pulinda, Pulkasha, or it doesn't matter, he's a Shudra, Vaishya, Sri, if he takes shelter of the Lord, he will be delivered. And that is a flow of discussion. So anyone remembers what verse Prabhupada ji, we just in our last Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Pravesh session Saturday afternoon discussed about that beautiful shloka. If I know maybe difficult to remember shloka, if not, if you remember what's translation, who's speaking to whom, if anyone remembers. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Krish Lay, your hand is up. Your both hands are up. Like you're doing some yoga postures. Okay. So whose hand is up? ISKCON Pune in Jawadi.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yes, Apurva.
Prabhuji, the verse is Tyaktva Swadharmam Sharanam Bhujam Hare Bhajan Apako.
Bhajan apakota tatet pato yadi.
So,
Abut amashakim. So what is the loss even if you're कहते हैं को वार्थ आप तो वजताम सुधर्मता. Anyways, continue.
So this verse is spoken by Narad Muni to Vyasdev when he was in confusion and then
It's
Narad Muni
okay.
arrived.
Now in this
So-
context, what Prabhupada is saying, connecting Sarvadharma verse with Tyaktva Swadharma. Sarvadharma Parityaja, Tyaktva Swadharma. Krishna says, give up all. And now this Narad says, those who have given up all. Takta Sudharmam Charna Bhujamare Bhajana Pakota Pate Tato Yadi. The verse says, even if their devotion is not mature enough and they fall down, yet there is no loss. And that's how Prabhupada continues. Prabhupada, what is the point Prabhupada makes around it? This particular verse. In the context of a discussion which Prabhupada is making. Even if
Out of sentiment, you should.
yes, thank you so much. That's the correct answer. Even if just by mere sentiment, people accept to bhakti, that is also a great fortune and should be acknowledged and appreciated. Of course, for the for sake of discrimination and pushing our individuals to read Prabhupada books, we may at times say, don't be just mere sentimental. But even that is glorified for that purpose because he has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, verse number 22, how everything happens according to the modes of material nature. Even the body is given by the modes of material nature, karmana deva netrena, jantu deha utpatti, etc. So, Prabhupada says, in this context of 13.22 verse, how the body is given by the modes of material nature, everything happens by the modes of material nature. Prabhupada says something in context of this. We should be very careful. Anyone remembers? What was that concept or context? We should be very careful. We should be careful of Maya. Just like we are careful not to get infested with malaria or not to fall sick. Similarly, we all have to become very cautious of the contamination of the modes of material nature and act in such a way that we recover from this material sickness or disease created by the modes of material nature. For that, what we have to do? We have to take to bhakti. And what is the beauty of bhakti? Ma vipata vipashitya ye vishu papayonya. Prabhupada goes this, so Prabhupada goes second canto, Kirat Nanda Pulinda Pulkasha. Avira Shumbayavana Khasadya. And Prabhupada said Khasadya, which is Mongolia, which refers to those who do not have mustache. Janam se मूछें नहीं होती. So do not develop mustache like that. So Prabhupada builds up this, and then Prabhupada goes to the next shloka, Anartho Pashamam Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Aduksaji. Anartho Pashamam. What is that anartha? Prabhupada talks about. So Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi is anartha. And through the practice of Bhakti Yoga, we can overcome this anartha. Mamachayo abhyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sakuna Samatiyeta Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So that's the rest of the discussion. We have got caught up into this bodily consciousness. Therefore, Prabhupada quotes example of Bhishma Pitamaha, where Krishna in second chapter says, Arjuna, there's no harm in killing a Bhishma Pitamaha, your great grandfather, because anyways he's become old. If you die, you'll get a new body. And then Prabhupada saying, well, Krishna was joking because he can joke about the grandfather. Not to be taken seriously, but that's a fact about it, bodily consciousness. So that's the whole idea. And so in essence, take to the process of bhakti to mitigate the influence of modes of material nature, to become purified of anarthas. And this sequence of verses from 1.7.4, 5, 6, and 7, Yasya Vishuryamananam Krishne Paramapurushi. So this whole cycle series is all about how Bhagavatam manifested, how Vyasadeva, wrote Bhagavatam, how he got inspired from Lord Shri Krishna, and he also saw material energy, and seeing that how material energy have influenced Jivatma, he decided to write Anatho Pashamo Sahib, Chakre Satvata Samitam, Lokasya Janato Viswams, Chakre Satvata Samitam. Therefore, he composed the Srimad Bhagavatam. And how to understand Srimad Bhagavatam? Shuryamanana. Yasyam Shuryamananam Krishne Paramapurushe. So by oral reception, we can hear, understand Srimad Bhagavatam as Srila Prabhupada instituted every morning Srimad Bhagavatam class to fulfill that purpose. So Hare Krishna. We pause our discussion here for today. Jadru Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Thank you for joining in. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Have a wonderful day ahead.